Ladies and gentlemen, to let the right man find you, the journey begins with a focus on becoming the best version of yourself. This concept extends far beyond mere physical appearances or external achievements. It is about cultivating a life of depth, purpose, and self-awareness. It requires a deliberate commitment to personal growth and self-love. The essence of attracting the right person lies in who you are and the energy you bring into the world. People are drawn to authenticity, confidence, and the sense of fulfillment that radiates from a person who has invested in themselves. And so it really never gets boring. The first step in this transformation is understanding that you are the foundation of any relationship you will have. No one else can fill the gaps in your self-worth or heal the wounds you carry. It is your responsibility to address these areas within yourself. This means taking time to reflect on your strengths, weaknesses, and the lessons you've learned from past experiences. Instead of carrying the weight of past disappointments, choose to grow from them. Each challenge you face has prepared you to become the person you are meant to be. And when you embrace this growth, you naturally elevate your value. Self-love is the cornerstone of this journey. It is not about vanity or self-centeredness, but about nurturing a deep respect for yourself and recognizing your inherent worth. It is about setting boundaries that protect your peace and refusing to settle for anything less than what aligns with your values. When you love yourself, you won't feel the need to seek validation from others. Instead, you will know that your value is intrinsic and that anyone who cannot appreciate that does not deserve a place in your life. To become the best version of yourself, it's essential to align your life with your passions and purpose. When you are living a life that fulfills you, you naturally exude a sense of joy and contentment. This doesn't mean that you need to have everything figured out or that your life needs to be perfect. Instead, it's about making progress and finding satisfaction in the journey. Pursue hobbies, develop new skills, and immerse yourself in activities that bring you happiness. But this not only enriches your life, but also makes you more interesting and attractive to others. People are drawn to those who are genuinely passionate about what they do because passion is contagious. Confidence is another crucial aspect of becoming your best self. Confidence is not about arrogance or pretending to be something you're not. It's about knowing your worth and standing firm in it. It's about walking into a room and not needing anyone's approval because you approve of yourself. Confidence is built over time through small, consistent actions. It's developed by stepping out of your comfort zone, facing your fears, and proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you once believed. The more you challenge yourself, the more you grow, and the more confidence you gain. Part of this journey is learning to embrace your uniqueness. There is no one else in the world exactly like you, and that is your power. Instead of comparing yourself to others, celebrate what makes you different. Your quirks, experiences, and perspectives are what make you special. The right person will be drawn to these qualities, not despite them, but because of them. Embracing your individuality also means letting go of societal pressures and expectations about what your life or relationship should look like. Instead of trying to fit into a mold, focus on creating a life that feels authentic to you. Becoming the best version of yourself also involves building emotional resilience. Life is full of ups and downs, and how you handle these challenges says a lot about your character. Emotional resilience is about learning to manage your emotions in a healthy way, staying grounded in difficult times and finding strength in adversity. When you develop this resilience, you not only become more self-reliant, but also more capable of contributing to a healthy relationship. A strong emotional foundation allows you to approach relationships from a place of stability and security rather than neediness or fear. Another vital aspect of personal growth is surrounding yourself with positivity. The people you spend time with, the content you consume, and the environment you create all influence your mindset. Seek out relationships and experiences that uplift and inspire you. Limit your exposure to negativity, whether it comes from toxic relationships, unproductive habits, or self-doubt. When you surround yourself with positivity, you create a space where you can thrive and grow. This journey also requires patience and self-compassion. Growth is not a linear process, and there will be moments when you feel stuck or unsure. It's important to be kind to yourself during these times and to remember that progress, no matter how small, is still progress. Celebrate your victories, learn from your setbacks, and keep moving forward. The more you invest in yourself, the more you will find that your energy begins to shift. You will attract opportunities, relationships, and experiences that align with the person you are becoming. To let the right man find you, it's crucial to define your standards and stick to them. This is not about creating an unrealistic checklist or holding rigid expectations. It's about understanding your worth and refusing to compromise on the values that matter most to you. Standards act as the foundation of any relationship. They set the tone for how you are treated, respected, and valued. Do you see how easy it is for you to shelter yourself by imposing your own? When you clearly define what you will and will not accept, you establish boundaries that protect your emotional well-being and honor your self-worth. The first step in this process is self-reflection. Take the time to truly understand what you need and desire in a partner. This requires looking inward and identifying your core values, priorities, and non-negotiables. For example, if honesty, mutual respect, and shared goals are important to you, these should form the cornerstone of your standards. This isn't about being rigid or inflexible. It's about ensuring that the foundation of any potential relationship aligns with your authentic self. When you know what you value, you won't waste time on situations that don't serve you. Setting standards also means understanding the difference between preferences and deal breakers. Preferences might include qualities like shared hobbies or specific physical traits, but they are not essential to a healthy and fulfilling relationship. Deal breakers, on the other hand, are aspects that directly conflict with your values or well-being, such as dishonesty, lack of commitment, or disrespect. By distinguishing between these two categories, you can remain open to meaningful connections while still upholding the principles that matter most. Sticking to your standards requires confidence and self-assurance. There will be times when you are tempted to lower your expectations for the sake of convenience, fear of loneliness, or pressure from others. Society often sends mixed messages, encouraging women to be more accommodating or give people a chance, even when their intuition signals otherwise. However, compromising on your standards for temporary comfort can lead to long-term dissatisfaction and regret. It's important to remind yourself that you deserve a relationship built on mutual respect, alignment, and genuine connection. Another aspect of defining and maintaining standards is clear communication. Once you know what you value, it's essential to articulate these expectations early in a relationship. This doesn't mean presenting a list of demands, but rather being honest about your intentions, boundaries, and vision for the future. For instance, if you value open communication and emotional availability, share this in a way that feels natural and authentic. The right person will appreciate your clarity and rise to meet your expectations, while the wrong person will show their incompatibility by dismissing or challenging your standards. Setting standards also means learning to recognize red flags and addressing them promptly. Too often people overlook warning signs because they are caught up in the excitement of a new relationship or because they believe they can change the other person. Ignoring these signs can lead to unhealthy patterns and heartbreak. Trust your instincts, and if something feels off, don't hesitate to address it or walk away. Sticking to your standards means prioritizing your emotional safety and well-being over the fear of being alone. A key element in this process is learning to enforce boundaries with grace and firmness. Boundaries are an extension of your standards and serve as a protective measure to ensure you are treated with respect. They are not about controlling others, but about communicating what you need to feel safe and valued in a relationship. For example, if consistent communication is important to you, set a boundary around how you expect to be treated in this regard. If someone repeatedly violates your boundaries, it's a clear indication that they do not align with your standards, and it's okay to step away. Defining and sticking to your standards also involves self-discipline and patience. There may be moments when you feel isolated or discouraged, especially if you observe others around you entering relationships that seem to contradict your values. However, it's essential to stay focused on your journey and trust that the right person will appreciate the standards you uphold. This requires a deep belief in your worth and the understanding that waiting for the right connection is far more rewarding than settling for the wrong one. Magical intentions keep you dreaming. Another critical element is surrounding yourself with supportive influences. The people you spend time with can significantly impact your ability to maintain your standards. Seek out friendships and mentors who encourage you to stand firm in your values and who model healthy relationships themselves. These individuals can provide perspective, guidance, and reassurance during moments of doubt. Conversely, limit your exposure to negativity or voices that encourage you to lower your expectations or settle for less than you deserve. Defining your standards also involves recognizing your role in attracting the right kind of partner. Your energy and actions send signals about what you are willing to accept. For instance, if you repeatedly tolerate disrespect or dishonesty, you may inadvertently communicate that these behaviors are acceptable. By consistently upholding your standards, you create a clear message that you value yourself and expect others to do the same. Maintaining your standards requires a commitment to self-growth and self-awareness. As you evolve, your standards may also shift to reflect your growing understanding of yourself and what you need in a relationship. This is a natural part of the process and should be embraced as a sign of personal development. Regularly check in with yourself to ensure that your standards are aligned with your current values and goals. To let the right man find you, it's essential to prioritize your peace and protect your energy. This begins with a deep understanding that not everyone deserves access to your life, your time, or your emotions. Peace is one of the most valuable assets you can have, and maintaining it requires intentional effort. It's about creating an environment, both internal and external, that nurtures your well-being and allows you to thrive. Protecting your energy involves being selective about the people, situations, and commitments you engage with, ensuring they align with your values and contribute positively to your life. The first step in this process is recognizing what disrupts your peace. Often it's not the big dramatic events that drain us, but the accumulation of smaller everyday stresses. These could include toxic relationships, unhealthy habits, or an overburdened schedule. Take a moment to evaluate your life honestly. Identify the areas where you feel drained or overwhelmed, and consider whether they truly serve you. Protecting your peace means having the courage to let go of anything that no longer aligns with your well-being, even if it's difficult. Toxic relationships are one of the most significant disruptors of peace. Whether it's a romantic partner, a friend, or even a family member, being around someone who constantly criticizes, manipulates, or drains your energy can have a profound impact on your emotional health. It's important to establish boundaries with such individuals, or, if necessary, distance yourself from them entirely. People need space. People need space. This isn't about harboring resentment or holding grudges. It's about prioritizing your mental and emotional safety. You cannot invite the right man into your life if you are still entangled in relationships that diminish your self-worth. Another aspect of protecting your energy is learning to say no. Many people struggle with this because they fear disappointing others or being perceived as selfish. However, saying no is not an act of rejection. It's an affirmation of your priorities. When you say no to something that doesn't align with your values or goals, you create space for the things that truly matter. This might mean declining a social invitation when you need rest, or stepping away from a project that doesn't align with your purpose. The more you practice this, the more empowered you will feel to protect your time and energy. Your environment plays a crucial role in maintaining your peace. The spaces you inhabit, whether it's your home, workplace, or social circles, should be conducive to your well-being. Decluttering your physical space, for example, can have a surprisingly positive effect on your mental clarity. Surrounding yourself with positive, supportive individuals who uplift and inspire you can also make a significant difference. Decluttering your authentic self is important for your well-being. Conversely, spending time in environments filled with negativity, gossip, or unnecessary drama can quickly deplete your energy. Be intentional about where you invest your time and who you share it with. Protecting your energy also involves being mindful of your thoughts and emotions. Often we are our own worst enemies, allowing self-doubt, fear, or negative thinking to undermine our peace. Developing a practice of mindfulness or meditation can help you cultivate greater awareness of your inner dialogue and shift it toward positivity. Journaling is another powerful tool for processing your emotions and gaining clarity about what truly matters to you. By nurturing a healthy mental and emotional state, you build resilience against external stresses and become more attuned to what aligns with your peace. Social media and digital distractions are modern challenges to maintaining peace and protecting energy. Constantly being connected, scrolling through endless feeds, or comparing yourself to others can leave you feeling drained and inadequate. It's important to set boundaries around your digital consumption. This might mean taking regular breaks from social media, curating your feeds to focus on content that inspires and uplifts you, or setting limits on screen time. Remember, your energy is finite, and how you choose to spend it reflects your priorities. Another critical element is developing a self-care routine that replenishes your energy. Self-care looks different for everyone, but it often includes activities that nurture your body, mind, and spirit. This might involve exercise, spending time in nature, practicing gratitude, or pursuing hobbies that bring you joy. Whatever form it takes, self-care should be a non-negotiable part of your life. It's not a luxury or an indulgence. It's a necessity. By taking care of yourself, you ensure that you have the energy and capacity to show up fully for the things and people that matter most. Time management is another vital aspect of protecting your peace. When your schedule is overpacked or poorly managed, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and lose sight of what's truly important. Prioritize your commitments and focus on the tasks that align with your goals and values. Delegate or eliminate unnecessary responsibilities whenever possible. Remember, being busy is not the same as being productive. By managing your time effectively, you can create more space for rest, reflection, and meaningful connections. Developing emotional boundaries is equally important. Not every situation or conflict requires your emotional involvement. Learning to detach from negativity or drama is a skill that can significantly enhance your peace. This doesn't mean becoming indifferent or apathetic, but rather recognizing when it's appropriate to engage and when it's better to step back. Protecting your energy sometimes means choosing to walk away from arguments or refusing to be drawn into conflicts that don't serve you. Finally, protecting your peace requires a long-term commitment to yourself. It's not a one-time decision, but an ongoing practice of choosing what aligns with your values and well-being. This might mean reassessing your priorities, setting new boundaries, or making changes to your lifestyle as you grow and evolve. The more you prioritize your peace, the more you will attract people and opportunities that reflect the calm, centered energy you embody. Letting the right man find you requires unwavering patience, a virtue that often feels elusive in a fast-pacing world. In a society where instant gratification dominates, the idea of waiting, especially for something as personal and meaningful as a romantic connection, can feel daunting. Yet patience is not a passive state. It is an active, intentional practice. It is about trusting the process, staying true to your values, and believing that the right person will arrive when the time is right. Patience involves cultivating a mindset that prioritizes quality over speed and depth over superficiality, allowing you to embrace the journey rather than rushing to the destination. The practice of patience begins with self-awareness. Many people, driven by the fear of loneliness or societal pressure, rushed into relationships without truly understanding themselves or what they need in a partner. This haste often leads to connections that lack depth or compatibility, ultimately resulting in heartache. By taking the time to explore your own identity, your values, passions, and goals, you lay the foundation for a relationship that aligns with your authentic self. This self-discovery process is not always easy or quick, but it is essential for attracting the right kind of person into your life. Patience also means resisting the urge to settle. The fear of being alone can be powerful, leading many to lower their standards or stay in unfulfilling relationships simply to avoid solitude. However, settling for less than you deserve often comes at a significant emotional cost. It can erode your self-esteem, create feelings of resentment, and prevent you from being open to the right connection when it does come along. Choosing patience over settling is an act of self-respect. It is a declaration that you value yourself enough to wait for someone who truly complements and uplifts you. One of the challenges of patience is dealing with external pressures. Family, friends, and even societal norms can create a sense of urgency around finding a partner, making you feel as though you are running out of time. It's important to remember that your journey is unique and cannot be compared to anyone else's. Trusting your timeline requires strength and conviction, particularly when those around you may not understand or support your decision to wait. Surround yourself with people who respect your choices and encourage you to prioritize your happiness and well-being. During the waiting period, it is essential to focus on personal growth and fulfillment. Patience is not about idly waiting for someone to appear. It's about using this time to invest in yourself. Pursue your passions, develop new skills, and cultivate a life that brings you joy and satisfaction. When you are living authentically and vibrantly, you naturally attract people who resonate with your energy. Moreover, by focusing on your own growth, you become a more confident and self-assured individual, qualities that are inherently appealing to the right kind of partner. Patience also involves embracing the lessons that come from past experiences. Every relationship, whether successful or not, offers valuable insights into your needs, preferences, and boundaries. Rather than viewing failed connections as wasted time, see them as stepping stones that have brought you closer to understanding what you truly want. These lessons are essential for making wiser choices in the future and ensuring that you don't repeat patterns that no longer serve you. Then, another aspect of patience is learning to trust the timing of your life. This can be one of the most challenging parts, as it requires letting go of control and surrendering to the unknown. Trusting the process doesn't mean being passive or indifferent. It means having faith that things will unfold as they are meant to, even if the path isn't immediately clear. This trust can be cultivated through practices like mindfulness, journaling, or seeking guidance from mentors or trusted friends. The more you lean into trust, the less you will feel the need to force or rush things. While patience is essential, it's equally important to remain open and receptive. Being patient doesn't mean isolating yourself or closing yourself off from potential connections. It means being discerning while staying open to possibilities. Attend social events. Engage in activities that align with your interests. And allow yourself to meet new people. The right person often enters your life when you least expect it, and by staying open, you increase the chances of recognizing and embracing that connection when it arrives. Patience also requires resilience. There will be moments of doubt, frustration, and even loneliness. These feelings are natural and valid, but they don't have to define your journey. Resilience is about acknowledging these emotions without letting them deter you from your path. It's about reminding yourself of your worth and the vision you have for your future. Surrounding yourself with positive influences, whether through supportive friends, inspiring books, or uplifting environments, can help you maintain your resolve during challenging times. An often overlooked component of patience is gratitude. While waiting for the right person, it's easy to focus on what's missing and overlook the abundance already present in your life. Gratitude shifts your perspective, allowing you to appreciate the relationships, experiences, and opportunities that currently bring you joy. This mindset not only enhances your overall well-being, but also makes you more attractive to others. People are naturally drawn to those who exude positivity and contentment. Finally, patience is an act of faith in yourself and the universe. It's about believing that you are deserving of love and that the right person will come into your life when the time is right. This faith allows you to navigate the waiting period with grace and confidence, knowing that every step you take is bringing you closer to the relationship you desire. When it comes to letting the right man find you, one of the most significant and empowering steps you can take is to focus on building your self-worth. A healthy sense of self-worth is the cornerstone of attracting the kind of partner who will respect, value, and cherish you. It is about recognizing your intrinsic value, setting high standards for how you wish to be treated, and refusing to compromise your dignity or needs for the sake of a relationship. Developing and maintaining self-worth is not an overnight process, but a continual journey of growth, introspection, and self-care. Self-worth begins with self-awareness. Understanding who you are at your core is essential to realizing your value. Take the time to reflect on your strengths, talents, and the unique qualities that make you who you are. This process may involve delving into past experiences, identifying the moments when you felt most confident or fulfilled, and exploring the aspects of yourself that you genuinely love. Self-awareness allows you to build a strong foundation of self-acceptance, embracing both your strengths and your imperfections. The right person will not only see and appreciate these qualities, but will also respect the effort you've put into understanding yourself. Part of building self-worth involves establishing clear boundaries. Knowing what you are willing to accept in a relationship and what you are not is a powerful act of self-respect. Boundaries protect your emotional well-being and ensure that you are not sacrificing your needs or values for the sake of someone else. Setting boundaries is not about being rigid or unapproachable, but about communicating your limits with confidence and clarity. When you have strong boundaries, you send a clear message to others that you value yourself and expect to be treated with respect. A critical aspect of self-worth is the ability to practice self-compassion. Too often, people are their own harshest critics, dwelling on perceived flaws or mistakes and allowing these to diminish their sense of value. Self-compassion means treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a dear friend. It involves forgiving yourself for past mistakes, celebrating your efforts and achievements, and giving yourself permission to grow at your own pace. This mindset fosters resilience and inner peace, making it easier to navigate the challenges and uncertainties of relationships. Investing in personal growth is another essential component of self-worth. When you prioritize your own development, whether through education, hobbies, fitness, or emotional healing, you enhance your sense of confidence and self-efficacy. Personal growth is not about striving for perfection, but about becoming the best version of yourself for your own sake. The right person will recognize and admire your commitment to growth and will be inspired to grow alongside you. Moreover, by focusing on your own development, you create a fulfilling and purposeful life that does not revolve solely around the pursuit of a partner.
Self-worth.
Self-worth is also deeply connected to self-care. Taking care of your physical, emotional, and mental well-being is a tangible way to demonstrate that you value yourself. This might include regular exercise, nourishing your body with healthy foods, seeking therapy or counseling when needed, and engaging in activities that bring you joy and relaxation. Self-care is not selfish. It is a vital part of maintaining your overall well-being and ensuring that you are in the best possible state to give and receive love. Your self-worth is reflected in the choices you make, particularly in relationships. When you recognize your value, you are less likely to tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or neglect. You become more discerning, seeking out partners who align with your values and treating yourself as a priority rather than an option. This doesn't mean you won't face moments of doubt or vulnerability. Rather, it means you have the inner strength to walk away from situations that do not honor your worth. Another crucial element of self-worth is learning to celebrate your individuality. In a world that often pressures people to conform to societal norms or ideals, embracing your uniqueness is a radical act of self-love. Recognize that your quirks, passions, and perspective are what make you special. The right person will not only accept these qualities, but will be drawn to them. By standing confidently in your authenticity, you make it clear that you are not willing to compromise who you are to fit someone else's expectations. self-worth also involves cultivating a positive inner dialogue. The way you speak to yourself can have a profound impact on your sense of value. Replace self-critical thoughts with affirmations that reinforce your worth and potential. Remind yourself daily that you are deserving of love, respect, and happiness. This shift in mindset may feel unnatural at first, but with consistent practice, it becomes a powerful tool for boosting your self-esteem and creating a foundation for healthy, fulfilling relationships. Part of building self-worth is recognizing and breaking free from patterns of seeking validation from others. While it's natural to desire affirmation from those we care about, relying too heavily on external validation can undermine your sense of independence and self-confidence. True self-worth comes from within, from knowing that your value is not dependent on someone else's approval. When you cultivate this inner validation, you approach relationships from a place of abundance rather than neediness, creating space for genuine connection and mutual respect. Finally, self-worth empowers you to be patient and selective in your search for the right partner. When you know your value, you're not tempted to settle for less than you deserve. You understand that waiting for a relationship that aligns with your standards and values is far more rewarding than rushing into one that does not. This patience is not rooted in fear or hesitation, but in a deep trust in yourself and your ability to attract the right kind of love. Embracing patience is a profound yet often underestimated principle when it comes to allowing the right man to find you. In a world that thrives on immediacy, the idea of waiting can feel counterintuitive or even frustrating. However, patience is not about passivity or doing nothing. It is an active process of cultivating readiness, maturity, and clarity about what you truly want and deserve in a partner. It requires a commitment to trust the process and believe that what is meant for you will arrive at the right time, not a moment sooner or later. Patience starts with understanding the value of timing. Relationships, like any other meaningful aspect of life, require a fertile foundation to grow. Just as a seed must be planted in the right season to flourish, love thrives when both individuals are emotionally prepared and aligned with their purpose. Rushing into a connection out of loneliness or societal pressure often leads to compromises that can undermine the relationship's integrity. True patience allows you to acknowledge that the timing of your love story is as significant as the person who enters it. It teaches you to honor the seasons of your life, knowing that each moment of waiting is an opportunity to prepare yourself for the kind of love you seek. During this period of waiting, patience encourages self-reflection. It urges you to ask deep and honest questions about your desires, expectations, and non-negotiables in a partner. This time of introspection is not about creating a checklist, but about understanding your own emotional landscape. What do you need to feel safe, loved, and supported? What values matter most to you? What patterns or behaviors do you need to unlearn to make space for a healthy and fulfilling relationship? These questions often lead to profound insights, allowing you to approach love with clarity and intentionality. Patience also empowers you to resist settling for less than you deserve. In moments of loneliness or doubt, it can be tempting to accept attention or affection from someone who may not truly align with your values or goals. However, settling often stems from a scarcity mindset, the fear that better options may never come. Patience challenges this belief by reminding you of your worth and the abundance of opportunities that life has to offer. It teaches you that it is far better to wait for a relationship that genuinely fulfills you than to invest your energy in one that leaves you feeling incomplete or dissatisfied. Moreover, patience provides a buffer against impulsive decisions driven by temporary emotions. In the early stages of attraction, it's easy to be swept away by chemistry or the excitement of a new connection. However, true compatibility goes beyond surface-level attraction. Patience allows you to observe and evaluate a potential partner's character, values, and actions over time. So, it helps you discern whether their intentions align with yours and whether they have the emotional maturity and stability to build a lasting partnership. This process of discernment cannot be rushed, as it requires both time and consistency to reveal someone's true nature. Patience also fosters resilience and emotional independence. When you are patient, you are less likely to view your singlehood as a burden or failure. Instead, you see it as an essential phase of your journey, one that allows you to focus on your own growth and happiness. This perspective shifts the narrative from one of lack to one of empowerment. You begin to realize that your worth is not tied to your relationship status, but to the richness and fullness of the life you create for yourself. And this mindset not only enhances your self-esteem, but also makes you more attractive to the kind of partner who values and respects you for who you are. Another dimension of patience is learning to let go of the need to control every aspect of your love life. Sometimes the pursuit of a relationship can feel like a quest to find the missing piece of a puzzle, leading to an exhausting cycle of searching, analyzing, and overthinking. Patience teaches you to release this need for control and to trust in the natural flow of life. It encourages you to focus on the things you can control, your actions, attitudes, and choices, while surrendering the outcomes to a higher power or the universe. This act of surrender is not about giving up, but about creating space for the right person to enter your life organically. Patience also cultivates gratitude and mindfulness. When you are patient, you learn to appreciate the present moment rather than constantly looking ahead to the future. You begin to notice the beauty in your current circumstances, whether it's the freedom to pursue your passions, the joy of deepening friendships, or the satisfaction of personal accomplishments. Ingenious is central to patience. This attitude of gratitude not only enhances your overall well-being, but also radiates a positive energy that can attract the right kind of love into your life. Additionally, patience helps you develop a deeper sense of empathy and understanding. When you allow time for relationships to unfold naturally, you give yourself and others the grace to navigate their own journeys. You recognize that everyone has their own timing and path, and this awareness fosters a sense of compassion and mutual respect. This emotional maturity becomes a cornerstone of healthy and harmonious relationships, setting the stage for a partnership built on trust and reciprocity. Finally, patience reminds you to stay open to possibilities. Sometimes the right person may come into your life in ways you least expect, or at times you hadn't anticipated. By cultivating patience, you keep your heart and mind open to the unexpected, allowing love to surprise and delight you. This openness does not mean passively waiting for someone to complete you, but actively embracing the adventure of life, knowing that the right man will find you when the time is truly right.